Okay, so our final video, we are moving now within the leaf. We're going to dig a little bit deeper and we're going to take a look at what's going on inside of that chloroplast when photosynthesis is taking place. So this is a big old chloroplast. I'm going to label that. Sorry, that's OR up there. Plast. And I'm going to divide this chloroplast in two just for learning purposes. Inside the chloroplast, we've got these green chlorophyll-filled discs, okay? And we call these thylakoids, T-H-Y-L-A-K-O, get off there, I-D-S, okay? So chlorophyll is in there. We've got the sun up here in the sky, okay, pushing down its sunlight energy. And then we've also got water coming into this mix, okay? So we've got chlorophyll, water, sunlight, all happening here. When that sunlight hits the chlorophyll and there's water present, what it's going to do is it's going to break that H2O into H's and O's. Okay. Now these two oxygens, because they love to be together, they're going to join up and they are going to leave this system. Okay. And this is what our first product of photosynthesis, and that's oxygen gas that gets pushed out. Now, also inside here, okay, we've got electrons. I'm going to just draw an E with a negative behind it just for purposes. And this also is where we have our electron transport chain happening. And all you need to know about the electron transport chain is that we've got energy moving almost kind of like it's moving along an assembly line, okay? And as it builds up, because whenever sunlight or light in general or heat hits something, particles get excited. So we are going to push energy over here. So I'm just going to label this arrow energy. And energy is going to cross over in two different forms. First one is ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which you also use for energy. And the second energy carrier is NADPH. Now notice that H on the end. Where do you think that came from? Oh. Also at the same time, we've got CO2 gas coming in from our atmosphere. The plant's taking that in, and that's also going to go in. And what it's going to do is it's going to push this cycle around that we know as the Kelvin cycle. Okay, and so once all this energy is added to the CO2, the product that's going to come out on this side is glucose. And that formula is C6H12O6. Okay, this is that sugar that the plant makes for itself that then it can use for energy as well. Now this process of going from CO2 to glucose is known as carbon fixation. Okay. Now, the reason I split this in half is that there's two kind of different pieces going on here. Over here on the left side where we're using the sunlight, we call this the light reaction. RXN means light or reaction, because sunlight is needed for that to be carried out. The other side where the Kelvin's taking place, we call this the dark reaction, and that's not necessarily saying that it's taking place in the dark, it's just meaning that it takes place without sunlight needed to make that Kelvin cycle go around.